Hello, everyone, and welcome to Battle of the Beasts Reptile Rampage, episode number 24. I'm Adam, and today we've got two more beasts fighting out for that last spot in round 3. So, with these two beasts that are fighting it out, these beasts have waited till the end of round 2 to finally go against each other. But which of these two are going to make it into the top 8 or the quarterfinals? Well, only time will tell, and all we got in between this right now and that answer is one battle. Let's introduce the beast I'll be fighting out for that last spot. So, representing Series 11, the New Age, a beast which has gained, I would say, a good cult following over the years and an immense hatred from a good friend of mine due to what I stand by is still a fair battle between this beast and Silver the Wild Terror in the OG tournament. But yeah, I can understand why some people may still be upset about that. But hey, I stand by my decision. Serpio deserved to win over Silver. Yes, I'm talking about Serpio, the Slithering Shadow. Versus his opponent, a beast which has appeared in the New Generation tournament, made it into the top 7, and a beast that appeared in the All Generation tournament and made it top 20, I think. I don't know, I don't remember. But this beast has done really well in definitely one of the tournaments that they were in, maybe 2, can't remember. But a representative of Series 26, the 4 Masters, I'm talking about Teknos, the Ocean Crawler. So with these two beasts, this is going to be a battle where I think the result is obvious, but like the last one, just because it looks obvious doesn't mean it's going to be the result. But let's get to the stats. Serpio the Slithering Shadow. Serpio is the body of a giant snake with scales that gleam in the darkness. He was created by the sorceress Kensa using the blood of Arxa the mountain giant, and like that beast he has only one eye, which glows brightly. He can breathe a hail of freezing water, encasing his victims in ice. Age 0, Power 284, Magic level 180, Fright Factor 87, Size 327. Powers and abilities: Ice Body, Ice Venom and Breath, Flight, Ice Resistance, Natural Weaponry, Enhanced Durability, Enhanced Strength, Burrowing, and 360-degree vision. Serpio can transform his heart, which is situated in his tail, into another eye to see anything behind him. Weaknesses is a pierceable heart. Teknos the Ocean Crawler. Teknos does not have a bio in the Holy Bible just yet, so with that, we just need to go to the abilities. Powers and abilities: Enhanced Strength, Natural Armor, Natural Weaponry, Underwater Breathing, and Speed Swimming. Weaknesses is Reversion and Struggle to Stand. Okay, and with the stats department done for both of these beasts, it's time to get into the battle. The battlefield will be a swampy arena. So that way Teknos has his water, Serpio has, well, the air. So with that, let's get into this. As both the beasts exit from their chambers, Serpio immediately comes through the sky exit and sees Teknos make his way out of the chamber on all fours. They both immediately lock eyes with each other and roar at each other, neither of which backing down. Serpio sees the water beneath him. He then shoots his icy venom breath over the water, immediately turning it to ice. Teknos sees that, and as part of his legs get trapped in the ice along with his lower shell, he doesn't seem fazed by this as he just moves forward and shatters the ice every step he takes. Serpio continues to shoot the ice down, his icy breath down onto the arena, causing the entire field to turn into ice, and Teknos still shattering right through it. Serpio realizes he needs to get Teknos off the water. He dives right through his icy, floor, under the water, and using all his strength, he uses his icy breath, forces it onto the underbelly of Teknos, and using his full strength, pushes Teknos up out of the water onto the ice. But what Serpio misjudged is that, well, Teknos just broke right through the ice, shattering it. Serpio realizes it's going to be harder than he thought. As Teknos regains himself, he stands on his hind 2 legs and slashes towards Serpio, who's just barely out of reach. Serpio swoops down and charges right at Teknos' underbelly, ready to just give him enough force and knock him onto his back. But Teknos was already prepared for that. He swings a fin towards Serpio and just slashes right at Serpio, flinging him off into the side of the arena. Serpio regains himself, charges up towards Teknos again. Teknos goes down onto all fours, lets Serpio go right over the top of his shell, slashing at it with his icy wing. Doesn't seem to do anything. Serpio comes back round, trying to attack Teknos again. This time aiming for his head. Teknos takes the icy breath on his head, but as Serpio flies by, Teknos reaches out and grabs onto Serpio's tail by with his jaw, biting down onto the tail, bringing Serpio to a complete stop, pulling him back. Serpio turns around and goes to bite onto Teknos' head, sinking his fangs into the side of Teknos' head. As Teknos winces in pain, he just tightens his grip on his tail, causing Serpio to tighten his grip on his neck. Teknos lifts up his two fins and pins Serpio down to the ground. Well, into the water, rather. Using his claws, he pierces the ice, Serpio's icy body, causing Serpio to finally roar in pain. As Teknos lets go of his tail and headbutts Serpio's head, knocking him back. As Teknos lifts up his fin and pins his head underneath the water. Serpio is now starting to struggle to break free as Teknos just bites down into Serpio's icy body and starts tearing away at it. Tearing away, chipping away at the ice, using his head, using his fangs to just, bite into Serpio's body. Serpio is trying to break free, and using all the strength he can, he's able to angle his head to bite onto one of Teknos' fins, causing Teknos to pull back his fin in anger, in pain, as Serpio used that as his opportunity to lean himself forward, bite the other fin to break himself free from Teknos. As he immediately backs away, shoots an icy breath at Teknos, trying to slow him down. And whilst it seems to do the trick, he then charges up towards Teknos to knock him back onto his back to have an upturned turtle, rather. And as he tries with all his strength to push him over, Teknos just stands on his hind legs, but using the lower part of his shell on his back, he has it like a third leg, just keeping him very steadily balanced. As Serpio is trying to push at Teknos with all his might, Teknos just pulls his fins in, grabs onto Serpio's wings, pulls him up to eye level, and stares into Serpio's eye as Teknos breaks Serpio's wings. Serpio roars in pain over this, and as Serpio is about to fall down to the ground, Teknos immediately brings his claw down, impales Serpio's body, and hoisting Serpio up with one fin. They stare into each other's eyes, with Serpio having a twinge of fear and realizing that he is now in trouble. Serpio shoots his icy breath over Teknos' head, trying to slow him down, or at least freeze him so then he can try and break it. Teknos, realizing what he's trying to do, just moves his fin and swings it towards the wall of the arena, smashing Serpio against the wall of the arena. Serpio immediately stops with the ice breath as he tries to regain himself, now being a regular snake and free from Teknos' grip. He tries to slither away, but Teknos, with his incredible speed, catches up to Serpio quite easily and using one of his claws again, impales it right in Serpio's tail, not the tip, and pulls Serpio back towards Teknos. Serpio has very quickly realized that Teknos now has the upper hand, and realizing that his icy breath isn't going to slow him down, he doesn't know what he's going to do. As Teknos lifts up his other claw, pins it right into Serpio's neck. Serpio is now completely pinned down, unable to struggle, unable to move. Serpio does not know what he's going to do, as Teknos lifts Serpio up, slams him into the ground. As he continues to do that, standing on his hind legs, he then chucks him down right in front of his hind legs as Teknos falls forward, smashing Serpio under the weight of Teknos' entire body. Teknos backs up for Serpio, just twitching violently, barely clinging to life from the immense weight that just been crushed above him rather. Teknos sees Serpio's heart at the end of the tail, see that it's barely glowing. Teknos realizes that this must be the point where Serpio needs to protect the most. He lifts up a fin and brings it right down on the heart, with one claw stabbing right into the middle of that heart. Serpio immediately screeches and stops. As the lifeless body of Serpio just stays there in a shocked expression, Teknos lifts up Serpio's body, swings it, and smashes it with all his might against the wall of the arena, shattering Serpio into millions of pieces as Teknos makes his way back to his chamber, ready for the next battle. So that Teknos has won, Serpio has lost. If you think Serpio should have won, please comment below. You think that, how my words final, and Teknos moving on to the next round. So with that, Serpio tried the strategy that was used in the last battle, where you use enough ice to slow the reptile down because they're cold-blooded. This time it didn't work, and that's because Serpio wasn't able to change the battlefield into a field of ice, which would have made it easier for him. With Teknos' immense weight and also strength, he's able to shatter the ice immediately, plus there's water underneath, so it's going to be harder for Serpio to freeze. That's why that strategy didn't work on Teknos. It was also a case of Teknos' immense height and strength and defense is something which is a force to be reckoned with, and would give any beast a challenge to try and beat him. But for Serpio, Serpio could have won. However, I think a change of battlefield would have made it easier for him. But for this battlefield, it was damn near impossible. And that's what I had to deal with here. So with that, Teknos is the final beast to make it into the top 8 of Battle of the Beasts Reptile Rampage. And with that, that's all for this time. If you enjoyed round 2, please leave a like, leave a comment, don't forget to subscribe. Join me in the next video where I'll be doing the summary of round 2 and announcing all 8 of the quarterfinalists. Until then, peace out.